Welcome to RFC Diaspora. I want to talk to you today about what is next. What is next? You know, it was your goal to get out and get into the country where you are in now. And you are now in the country. And you are either settling down or settled down, or whatever you are. But can I just ask you a question? What is next? What is next? That's important. We need to answer that. If you're not careful, you just get lost in the moment and in the joy and the passion of arrival. But let's talk about this for a few minutes. It's amazing that God said this to Gideon. Gideon was a man that God asked to go and fight in the army, and when he asked people to join him, guess how many showed up? That's 2,000 people. So God asked them, if you're afraid, if you're scared, go back home, and guess how many left? 22,000 left, remaining 10,000. And then God came down to Gideon again and said, look here, there are just too many for me. I want to give them a test. I want to pick out of these 10,000 who will go for me. And they gave them this test. I'd like to read to you in the Bible. It's interesting. Listen to this. The Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many. Bring them down to the water and I'll test them for you there. Then to be that of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, the same shall go with you. Whoever I say to you, this one shall not go with you, this shall not go. So he brought the people down to the water. The Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps from the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you shall set apart by himself. Likewise, everyone who get down on his knees to drink. The number of those who lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, was 300 men, but all the rest of the people got onto their knees to drink water. Then the Lord said to Gideon, by the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hand. Let other people go, every man to his place. Wow. Will you continue the job? I mean, you are going to war, you got 10,000 left. And God said, let's do some more pruning. And then God picked 300 people and asked Gideon to go with you. I mean, what will you do? You're going to offer a letter of resignation. You're not going to war again with 300. What will you do with 300 people against mass and mass of people? Soldiers at the war front. But God asked Gideon to go with 300. And that's what was adequate, more than enough to get the job done. Now, what was the gist of this story? Simple. God gave them a test. Go to the river, start drinking. And those one who got down there and put their head into the water and start drinking, they were 9,700. But some of the guys were drinking like this. You know, they were looking ahead and drinking like this. They put their hand in the water. They didn't bury their head in the water. So, what's next? Are you buried in the moment? Are you lost in the moment? Oh, you are glad. You've arrived. You are here. You got a job. You got some pounds, dollars, or whatever you are earning, and you are happy now. So, what's next? Are you just going to just get lost in the present and get carried away with the euphoria of good infrastructures, good road, food available, light, water, all kind of things to talk about, and be comparing and contrasting forever on social media about life here and life there where you're coming from? Or will you just rise up and ask yourself, what is here next for me? What should I do next? Where am I going next? Am I going to just kind of get in here and get lost in the crowd? Am I going to step out and look further? You know, this is vitally important. You've gotten your heart desire to arrive there, but now, what are you going to do? If you look very closely, there are better ways you can live. There are places of improvement. There are things you can do more with your life than what you have ever said before you left your country. So I want to ask you, what is next? And that question you must ask yourself. You may say, okay, how do I get what is next? I'm going to give you something that is important, and this is what the Bible says about it. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 4. Let me find the verse. It's interesting, verse 8. Take a look. It says, draw near to God, and he'll draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners. Purify your heart, you double-minded. He said, draw near to God, and he'll draw near to you. Start draw near to God and say, God, what else do you have for me? Why am I here? What am I going to do in my life here? How far can I go? How can I establish, improve, upgrade my life here? Not just get to be enjoying the moment and get lost, buried, and in the water drinking. I want to be like the 300 men that took water and lapped it and like that and just looking ahead. So I challenge you today to look ahead. Don't just get lost in the moment. Get lost in the beautiful things you are enjoying now. There's still much more ahead of you. Seek the Lord. Let's read Matthew 4 or Matthew 7 as I round up. Just permit me to open Matthew 7:7. It says this. It said, ask, it will be given to you. Seek, you will find. And knock, it will be open to you. Seek. You want to know what's next? Seek. Seek the Lord. Pray. Talk to God. And look around you. Ask questions. Where are you going next? What will happen next? It's time to look at your life with a bigger dimension of what is next. Don't just get buried in the moment. Thank you for listening.